Yay, I got it up. Okay. So we are live on YouTube, we are live on TikTok, and we are live on Facebook right now. So let's go ahead and get started again. Welcome to the Balanced Millennial Monday. Today we're going to talk about the heart chakra. We're going to talk about the heart chakra and why your imbalanced or blocked heart chakra is probably interrupting or probably the reason why you're having a hard time getting to your goal. So if you don't know, by now, it's what is it, the first week of February? So by now, about 43% of people have already dropped off that New Year's resolution, y'all. So that means that almost half of people that set a New Year's resolution this year have already dropped off. They already fell off. I don't want y'all to be in that number. I do not want y'all to be in that number. So I definitely want you to stay tuned to make sure that you are part of the 9% of people who complete their New Year's resolution in 2024. So whether you are a baby spiritualist or an expert and you've been studying spirituality for a long time, you probably heard of chakras. So chakras hold a lot of power. I actually have on adventuring because we're talking about the heart chakra. I am a heart healer. So I'm actually wearing the crystal for that now. So chakras hold a lot of power and energy, y'all. It can be a determining factor in how efficient you are able to achieve your goals. So when your heart chakras are balanced, you notice a harmony, you notice a flow. Like throughout your day, you notice, hey, Erica. Throughout your day, you notice that you're able to flow through. You're able to flow through your day a lot easier when your heart chakra is balanced. When your chakras are imbalanced, what you'll notice is that you'll feel the complete opposite. You'll feel misaligned. You'll feel as if the world is against you. And you'll feel like there's all this pressure and all this weight on your shoulders. Now, before we dive more into the symptoms that you'll experience, let's talk about what a heart chakra even is. So I definitely encourage you to get to know your chakras, get to know each of your chakras. Today we're focused on the heart. Well, this month we're focused on the heart chakra as we enter February, the month of love, the month of Black history. We are focused on the heart chakra. So the heart chakra is the fourth energy center in the human body. It's situated at the center of your chest. So this holds a lot of power. It holds a lot of significance in Eastern spiritual traditions. So the energetic center is represented by the color green, again, hence why I have on the adventuring. And I hope I'm saying that right, y'all. I try to tell y'all all the time I am a country bumpkin in real life. But represents the color green, and it impacts your emotional, it impacts your physical, it governs your heart, your lungs, and your circulatory system. The heart chakra also represents love. It represents compassion. It represents interconnectedness. So a lot of times when your heart chakra is blocked, it's hard for you to show compassion for yourself. It's hard for you to show compassion for others. So I always emphasize the heart chakra in the balancing act. Again, the balancing act is a 3-phase journey that I take millennials through to guide them out of survival mode and into a more balanced lifestyle. So I emphasize the heart chakra in the balancing act because when your heart chakra is balanced, it's easier to balance your solar plexus. It's easier to balance your crown chakra. It's easier to balance your root chakra because, again, your heart chakra is right at the center. So if the center, you got to think when we're actually talking about balance, right? When you are trying to balance anything, a scale, your body, your life, there is something right at the center that needs focus before you can even attempt to make sure the other areas are balanced. And the work that I do believe that's the heart chakra. So when you have this space blocked, when this space is unblocked, you have the energy to give yourself, to have a better understanding. You have the energy to know more about yourself and the things that are going on around you. Heart chakra, energy center. We're talking about the heart chakra. So if you're wondering, you're watching this and you're like, okay, well, how do I know if my heart chakra is blocked? Like, how would I even know that? So as with anything in life, sometimes we experience blockages. Blockages are normal. Blockages are regular. Blockages happen to all of us. It's a normal part of life. It's actually I believe it's an important part of the cycle, because sometimes you experience blockages and that makes other things more clear in your life. Like you're wondering, like, why can't I find this man? Why can't I find this job? Why can't I find these friendships? And the whole time it's because there's still some work that you have to do before you can attract that partner, before you can attract before you can attract abundance into your life, before you can attract a job that you enjoy. There is still some work that has to be done. So when those blockages happen, that's kind of like an alert going off in your body to say, hey, we need to take care of ourselves better in some way. What we're doing isn't working. Let's figure that out. So the blockages can be even more impactful with the heart chakra because it's the energetic center. It's right in the middle. Again, I am very, very big in the balancing act and emphasizing the heart chakra, because if we're talking about balance, the heart chakra is right in the middle. You want to make sure that chakra is balanced, because then your upper chakras, it's easier for you to balance your upper chakras. It's easier for you to balance your lower chakras when that center is balanced. So if you're wondering if your heart chakra is blocked, here are 5 ways to know that it is. Here are 5 ways to know. First one is that you have difficulty in receiving and giving love. Anytime somebody is, simple things, trying to compliment you, the first thing you do is say something negative about yourself. Your heart chakra is blocked. If someone is offering to do something kind for you, like maybe you forgot your lunch and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to grab lunch. I'll just get you something really quick. And you're like, oh, no, I'll starve. Don't worry. Don't do anything nice for me. I'll starve. Your heart chakra is blocked. If you have a hard time giving love, like if you find you're like, say you're in a situation, you're having a conversation with a coworker, you're having a conversation with a friend, and you can tell that they need some compassion. You can tell that they need a little bit of grace. You can tell that they need like a little bit of affection. And instead of giving them that, you pull back. Even though this is someone you care about, this is someone you have a close relationship with, you pull back from them, your heart chakra is probably blocked. So again, this can manifest as having a hard time connecting with a romantic partner. So maybe you're interested in someone, but you don't know how to go deep with them. You don't know how to share like the vulnerable side of you. You don't know how to talk about things that you experienced in your childhood. You don't know how to talk about things that you experienced in your past relationships. Your heart chakra is probably blocked. Another sign that your heart chakra, and before I go into the next one, on Facebook and YouTube, I can't see the comments. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, okay. I see them on TikTok in front of me. Okay. So another way to know that your heart chakra is blocked is that you're going to have feelings of isolation or loneliness. So you're going to have this feeling even when you're in a room full of people. So even when you're going out with your friends, you're still going to feel like you're there by yourself. Even when you're at a family function, you're still going to feel like you're at that family function by yourself. Even when you're sitting at home and you're next to your partner and you're next to your kids and you're spending time with them at home, you're still going to feel by yourself. You're still going to feel isolated. You're still going to feel heavy sensations of loneliness. Your heart chakra is most likely blocked. Another one, number 3. Lack of self-compassion. So when your heart chakra is blocked, it's damn near impossible to show compassion and grace to yourself. So that's going to look like every time you make a mistake, you're going to beat yourself up. Every time you maybe the day has gone crazier than you thought and you didn't get to knock a couple things off your task list, that's going to turn into self-punishment. Like, oh, now I don't get to enjoy something later on because I didn't perform with perfection today. So when your heart chakra is blocked, it's hard for you to show yourself compassion. It's hard for you to give yourself grace. This also manifests as low self-esteem. Your inner critic is probably going to be loud as hell. Your inner critic is going to be mean as hell. And your inner critic is going to be telling you all these negative things about yourself when your heart chakra is blocked. Number 4, the fourth sign to know that your heart chakra is probably blocked is if you have a difficulty letting go of past hurts. If you are holding on tight to that, when your boyfriend cheated on you in high school, but you're 30 years old now, if you holding on tight to that still, your heart chakra is blocked. If you are holding on tight to when your friend betrayed you and told a secret of yours that she shouldn't have told anybody, and that was 4 or 5 years ago, and you're still holding on to that, your heart chakra is blocked. If you're still upset with your mom, with your dad about things that happened when you were a child, your heart chakra is still blocked, because when your heart chakra is blocked, you can't let go of things, because in your mind and your heart and that energetic center, this is how the world is. The world is mean. The world is spiteful. The world can't be trusted. That's what you're telling your heart when you hold on tight to these experiences. So there's blockages there that aren't going to allow love and pure, genuine, positive energy to flow through you. Number 5, the fifth and final one. You struggle expressing emotions authentically. So yeah, you probably express your emotions. Maybe you express them when you're in rage. Maybe you express them once you're fed up. Maybe you express them once they've been bottled up for so long. But you have a hard time genuinely just sitting down and having a conversation and say, this is how I feel. These are the things that I want. These experiences are the reason I feel this way. When your heart chakra is blocked, you're not able to be vulnerable like that. You're not able to be authentic like that. You're not able to be honest like that, because you're scared. You're scared that you're going to put yourself out there and they're going to respond to you in a way that you don't want them to. Maybe you're going to tell them that you don't like the kind of comments they're making towards you. They may respond, and you may be scared that they're going to respond and say something like, oh, I'm just playing. You shouldn't take it that serious. Whole time they'd have called you fat 10 times today, knowing that you have insecurities about your body. So when you keep all that in, and you hold all that into your heart space, and you hold all that into that energetic space, you start showing up with a mask every single where you go, because you've taught yourself, and your experiences are teaching you that you can't trust people with your emotions. You can't trust people with your feelings. And so you choose not to share them. Anytime somebody asks you if what's going on, what's wrong, nothing, I'm okay. I'm fine. No, I'm good. Whole time you are crumbling inside. You need to cry. You need a hug. You need to hear that your feelings matter, that your feelings are valid. So those are the 5 ways to know that your heart chakra is blocked. And these blockages are not meant to last forever. A lot of these blockages we have inherited from our ancestors, and not on purpose, but just because our ancestors didn't have a lot of because y'all was Black History Month. If you know, for me, every day Black History Month for me. But let's get into it. Because our ancestors didn't have the space to express themselves authentically. They would be beat. They would be killed. Our ancestors didn't have the space to let go of their past hurts, because they were still living in them. So it's hard to tell someone who may have seen their building get burned down, or who may have seen their home get burned down, who may have seen their business get burned down. It's hard to tell them to let that go when 2 weeks later, their friend's house is now burned down. 3 weeks later, their parents' house is now burned down. So a lot of these blockages that you're experiencing are coming down through genetics. And that makes it even harder to remove those blockages. That's when we start getting to conversations about past life regressions. Yeah. That's when we start getting into talking about past life regressions, and talking about the reason why some things that you're holding in your heart aren't even your experiences. They're not even your experiences. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. I remember for the longest, cheating, I'm already not someone who agrees with cheating in a relationship. But for the longest, it was a fear of mine. It's if I'm getting into a relationship, I'm going to be cheated on. Had never even been cheated on. So what that meant to me, and what that showed me, was that was not my fear. That was not my experience that was making me fear these things. This was a past life experience. This was something from my ancestors. This was something from my bloodline that occurred, that I have inherited within that energetic center, that I had to heal within myself, or else I was going to keep carrying this, and it wasn't even mine. So that's why that's another reason why I'm really, really big on focusing on the heart chakra in the balancing act, because you have to be able to heal your heart in order to think clearly. A lot of times people separate logic and emotions. Because I'm someone who does both. I'm a Cancer, first off. I'm a Cancer. We do it the best. It's almost my season, and I turned 30 this year, so I'm turning up. So I'm a Cancer. I'm a Scorpio rising. I'm basically all water and earth. So me being all water and earth, I have a really good balance of like my feelings, but also being able to stay grounded and stay in reality, and know like what's really going on, what I'm really feeling, what I'm really experiencing. Whereas like a lot of times people try to separate, I know, right? A lot of times people try to separate the two so much that you don't understand that the reason why you can't achieve a goal, the reason why you can't get to the next level is because you do need to feel a little bit more. You need to feel a little bit more because how, let's say you run a business and it is a service-based business. How can you connect to the people that you're serving if you don't feel things? How can you truly connect to them if there's no feeling? So you do have to feel more, but you also have to be now. I won't even say necessarily logical, but I would say methodical, if that's how you say that word. I would say that because that's how I am. I'm very intentional. I'm very much like, let me organize this out and let me plan this out, in my head and then on paper. And then let me see what I feel about it. Like, let me see how I feel. Like, does this feel aligned? Does this feel good? Like, does this feel like something I should be doing? And that's like when I say in the balancing act, I'm super, super big on making sure that my clients connect to their feeling, because once you connect to your authentic self, it's just that much easier to achieve your goal, because your goals become aligned with who you are once you're showing up as who you are. Like, it's really hard to achieve certain goals when those goals are not for you. Those goals are probably your mama goals. Those goals are probably your partner's goals. Those goals are probably goals that you wanted 10 years ago, and it's 10 years later and you're like, I'm still going after this goal and still ain't achieved this, because that goal is not for you. You have to, in order to know that about yourself though, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. So if you're wondering, like, damn, my heart chakra is a little unbalanced. I'm a little imbalanced, My heart chakra ain't where I want it to be. I feel isolated a lot. I feel alone a lot. Like, I talk to myself crazy all the time. My inner critic is always louder than my positive voices. Like, it is hard for me to accept a compliment. It is hard for me to speak positivity into other people. It's hard for me to receive positivity from other people. Um, it is hard for me to let go of past hurts. I am holding on to my failed. I'm sorry, it's popping up. I am holding on to my failed marriage. I am holding on to my failed relationship. I am holding on to that job that I didn't get. I am holding on to that college I didn't get to go to. I am holding on to my kids growing up, and I'm feeling like I don't know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to keep parenting them. Like, you're holding on to so many things, and it's blocking up that energetic center that you need to get these things done. This is the energetic center that you need to be focused on to get other things done, to think clearly, to plan efficiently, to believe in yourself. Because that's always the first step. I actually saw, I think it was a TikTok video where she said something along the lines of like, all these self-help books and all these like gurus never talk about the fact that in order to actually achieve a goal, in order to actually get to where you want to be, you have to start with believing in yourself. And that's why I love what I do, because that's where I start. I don't believe that you can achieve a goal if you don't believe that you can achieve it. Like, that's where it starts. And even if that's fake, even if the entire time you're working towards that goal, you don't really believe it, but you be lying to yourself every time, because delusion has its place. I say all the time, delusion has its place. You have to know when to be delusional. Like, even for me, I am very much a feelings person. So in the past, I would commit to something. Like, I would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this every week, or I'm gonna do this 2-3 times a week. But then once my feelings get involved and I don't feel like doing that shit no more, I would quit. I would just stop doing it. But when you are focused more on alignment, and you're focused more on your discipline, and you're focused more on doing what you say you're going to do and showing up authentically, you're able to push past like the feelings that keep you stuck and keep you bogged down and keep you from making the better decisions for yourself. And that is what I want for you. I want you to make better decisions for yourself consistently. I feel like, especially as millennials, I don't know, for me, it was easier because it was like I feel like my mom gave me a nice balance of telling me what to do and letting me do what I wanted to do. And I feel like that's probably why I'm the parent that I am now. That's probably why I have a platform the way that I have now, because I'm very big on having that balance. Um, very big on having that balance. So it's like you have to start thinking about that. You have to start thinking about, let me see, right? That's how I am when I get fixated on something. So if you are thinking like, okay, maybe I do have a block chakra, maybe my a heart chakra, maybe my heart chakra is imbalanced. I'm not gonna lie, it's not an easy task. It's not something that you can just do overnight. It's not something where you're gonna wake up the very next day and your heart chakra is just gonna be balanced. It's not gonna be anything like that. But it is going to be worth it. It's going to require a lot of shadow work. It's going to require some intense deep diving into your past experiences. It's going to require a mirror. I am such a big advocate of mirror work. I actually had a session with a client yesterday, and one of the things she's working on is her inner critic and talking to herself better and feeling more confident in her own skin. And so I am super, super big on mirror work for that reason. And I actually have a mirror work challenge. Like if anybody wants to do a challenge, it's a free challenge. It's just 7 days, 7 days where you get a prompt each day. And I just expect you to say the prompt out loud in front of the mirror, respond to the prompt out loud in front of the mirror, and then journal your experience. That's it for 7 days. But it's so necessary. Again, the heart chakra is at the center of your chakras. It is at the center. You need to be balanced in the center to balance the rest of them. So if you're wondering what you can do in order to balance your heart chakra, I am going to give you 4 things that you can do. The first one is going to be that you have to realize that your happiness is your responsibility. So one of the things that I notice when I talk to clients is that a lot of times when I ask them like what makes them happy, it's usually like external things. Oh, my kids make me happy. I love my kids. Love the kids. Okay, sis. So it's the kids make them happy. Oh, my job. I love my job. I'm so fulfilled with my job. Oh, I love my friends. Like my friends are so wonderful. Like it's usually these external factors that can be taken from you at any moment in time. So once you realize that your happiness is solely your responsibility, it's no one else's responsibility to make you happy at all. You have to really, and once you accept that, what ends up happening is that you start prioritizing yourself more, because when you think that your job is what makes you happy, that's where you're going to invest your time at. When you think that your kids are what makes you happy, that's where you're going to invest your time at. When you think that your friends are what makes you happy, that's where you're going to invest your time at. Once you realize that you are the only source of your happiness, you will start investing your time in yourself. You'll stop answering the phone because your auntie didn't want to gossip. You'll stop going out with men and women who have no intention on taking you any kind of serious or valuing your time. You'll stop engaging in conversations that aren't elevating and that aren't purposeful or that aren't intentional or that aren't healthy. So what will happen is that you'll identify what your core values are and you'll start aligning with them. And again, that's the first phase of what I do in the balancing act. And I love doing this with clients because what they'll realize is that maybe one of their core values, like one of my clients, her core value is love. And what she realized is that although that was her core value, she was not living in alignment with that core value. So yes, your core value is love, but you can't look at yourself in the mirror. Yes, your core value is love, but you're constantly listening to negative perceptions of yourself. Your core value is love, but you're constantly having conversations and engaging with people who are draining to you. So when you identify what your core value is, again, if love is one of your core values, what you'll notice is that when you start pouring into what those values are, that's where the magic happens. That's when you start realizing, like, damn, I really enjoy myself. I really love myself. I really deserve better in my life. You're never going to believe that you deserve better if you keep doing the same things over and over again. Number 2, you need to learn to take the leap. You need to learn to take the leap. Balancing your heart chakra is about challenging yourself. It's about taking challenges. It's about accepting that if you keep making fear-based decisions, your heart chakra will continue to stay blocked. You have to start moving away from fear-based decisions. You have to start asking yourself, why did I make that choice? So let's say you're applying for jobs right now, and you're like, oh, that job paying 65K. It's a remote. Like, oh, I like the benefits, but I'm not gonna apply because I probably won't get it. That's a fear-based decision. That is a fear-based decision. That is clear indication that your heart chakra is not open, because when your heart chakra is open and when it's balanced, you believe that you can get that job. Okay. Yeah, you believe that you can get that job. There's no fear. What's that? What they be saying? My heart don't pump Kool-Aid. Something like that. Somebody tell me. But when your heart chakra is blocked, you lead with fear. You lead with this idea that when your heart chakra is blocked, you're leading with fear. So when you're trying to unblock your heart chakra, you have to start taking leaps that you were scared to take. So maybe you want to start shooting your friendship shot. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that every single time you take the leap, you're going to get the reward. The reward itself is the fact that you did it. The reward itself is that you pushed yourself past your limits, past your boundaries, past your blockages. Okay. So that is the reward in itself. And then the bigger reward is when it works out. You shot your friendship shot, and now you've been friends with this woman or this man for 5-10 years. And this person coming into your life has changed your life for the better. You shot your job shot. And now you're making 20, 30, 40K more than what you were making before. When whole time you should have been making that much anyway. You just were scared. So you shot that shot. And so for me, I'm about to enter my 30s and I'm so excited. So excited. I'm about to enter my 30s. And it's like taking that leap is like part of my lifestyle now. Like for me, when I get scared, that lets me know to do the opposite. So when I get scared and like my body's like, oh, do this, like settle for this, only accept this, like instantly in my brain, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go the opposite way because you tripping. You talking about some other shit and we ain't talking about that. Because like even this for me is taking a leap, because when I tell y'all I do not like I don't like being required to do something when I don't feel like it. So it's like, I don't feel like doing this every Monday. I just don't feel like doing this every Monday, only because I just don't. There's nothing. I love y'all. I love sharing with y'all and communicating with y'all. But at 9 p.m. on Monday, sometimes I just want to lay in the bed. Like I just want to get in the bed, or I just want to watch TV. I was watching Insecure. So it's like, for me, I know that's a fear response. I know that's a fear decision if I choose not to show up on Mondays like I said I would. And it's like that fear response for me is like fear of success. Like, girl, if you keep doing this and your business gets bigger, like that's scary as hell. So it's like, I can't let that fear win every single Monday. I have to show up every single Monday like I said I would. So number three, you got to let that shit go. You got to let that shit go. You got to let that shit go. It's always easier said than done, but once you do that shit and once you do that shit consistently, it's gone. You're not thinking about it. Like, I'm telling y'all, I'm sure people say that I guess this is like an oxymoron, heartless. I'm sure there are people, specifically men, okay, that would say that I'm heartless because of the way that I can just let shit go. But it's like, I've been working on that for so long. It's easy for me now. Like I used to be someone who would never let anything go. Like, you pissed me off today, I'm mad about that shit 2 years later, kind of not let that shit go. And that was like very draining for me. That was very exhausting for me. It made me very angry. I would get agitated very easily, like just holding on to things that were upsetting to me, that were disappointing, that were frustrating. So I had to let that shit go. And I definitely advise you, if you want to unblock your heart chakra, if you want your heart chakra to be open so that way you can get to the success that you want in your life, you got to learn how to let that shit go. And that doesn't mean let people treat you however and then just like forgive them and let it go. That just means that when you decide where your standard is, anything beneath that standard needs to be gone. Like anything. Because what happens with the universe and what happens energetically is that when you still entertain that, you're telling the universe you enjoy it. The universe don't know feelings. The universe doesn't know good and bad. Like the universe only knows action. It knows what you're doing. It knows how to repeat things, how to pull things. Like it knows stuff like that. So it's like when you're holding on to things, all you're doing is telling the universe that you enjoy that. When you're holding on to that past hurt from another relationship, all you're doing is telling the universe that you in another relationship like that. You got to let that shit go. You got to let that shit go because that's how you open up the space to get what you really want, to go towards what you really need. I remember when I quit teaching, what was that, 2 years ago? I remember when I quit teaching 2 years ago, I had to get like the mindset of work off of me. Like I had to get like the not even the mindset of work. I won't say that. I had to get the depression of work off of me. Like I had to get the anxiety of work off of me. So that way, once I went into my new job and once I went into TikTok is always acting up. I'm sorry, TikTok people, but that one's over. But yeah, once I went into a new job, I had to like learn how to reprogram my body because I had been so unhappy and so miserable teaching for so long that that's what work felt like for me. Like work felt like anxiety, work felt like depression. And I feel like a lot of times that's one of the reasons why some people can't level up in their careers and can't level up in their business is because you're still holding on to like the past pains from past jobs. Like you're still upset about the way that you got fired for no reason 2 jobs ago. You're upset about the way that they were underpaying you, and when you asked for a raise, it was a problem. Like you're still holding on to those things, and it's not allowing space for you to work in a place where you can ask for a pay raise and it just be a discussion. Or you can work somewhere that respects you and values you as an employee. All right, number 4, the last one. We went, ooh. I said I was going to be quick today, and look at me at 33 minutes. So last one is live authentically. So if you want to unblock your heart chakra, you want your heart chakra open so that way you can gain more success in your life. You want to live authentically. So we live in a world where angles and 5-second clips show nothing but perfection. So it can be hard to show up as your true self when you are comparing yourself to someone else. When you're comparing yourself to the IG model, when you're comparing yourself to the rapper that has millions of dollars and gold chains and all that stuff, when you're comparing yourself to the 22-year-old who got rich off Instagram as an influencer, like when you're comparing yourself to these people and these experiences, it makes it hard for you to live authentically. But that is what you need to do in order for your heart chakra to be more open. The more authentic you show up in your life, the easier it is to show compassion, the easier it is to love yourself, the easier it is to be present for others and the things that matter to you. Because when your heart chakra is balanced, you don't really care about what people are thinking about you. You don't care about their perspective. You don't care about what they got to say about you. Because all you care about is making sure that what you say, you can stand on. What you say, you are. What you post, you are. That's all that matters to you. So it really could, you could care less about what somebody else has to say. You care less about how somebody else is living. Because when you are living authentically yourself, you don't have to compare. There is no comparison. What Jay-Z said, some of y'all don't deserve to be in a category. Okay. Like when you're living authentically, because that's already a smaller percentage of the world that lives authentically. So, there are a lot of people who don't belong in the category. So there's no reason to compare yourself. There's no reason to compare yourself. You're not perfect. No one's perfect. But when you show up authentically, what happens is you connect with your soul tribe. You connect with the people that were put here to help you elevate, that you were here to that you were put here to help them elevate, that you were put here for the community with them. So the more that you live to the standard that of being your best self every day, the easier it is to balance your heart chakra. Again, this is what I focus a lot on in the balancing act. In the 3 phases of the balancing act, we start with the core values. And I start by identifying what the top 3 core values are. And then we want to identify what those gaps are. Like, where are you not living like this? If a core value for you is respect, where are you not respecting yourself? Where are you not respecting others? What are the gaps there? How can we fill those gaps? So it's very, very important that in order for you to live authentically, in order for you to unblock your heart chakra, in order for you to create this balance in your life, so that way you can really get to the goals and really get to the things that you're trying to achieve, you have to start figuring out what's important to you. You have to identify your top 3 values, your top 3 core values. And then from there, you need to see what aligns in your life and what does not align. And then that from there, you'll be able to see what actions need to change in your life. I'm very, very big on transforming your thoughts so that way you can transform your actions, because I do believe it starts in the mind. I do believe it starts in the head. It starts with what you tell yourself. It starts with what you're letting other people tell you. It starts with what you're watching on TV, the music you're listening to. All of those things are important when it comes to balancing your lifestyle, because until you transform the way that you think, it's going to be hard for you to transform the things that you do. So, your heart chakra can make or break your ability to achieve your goals. So, when it's imbalanced, it's harder for you to achieve your goals because you're leading with fear. You're not showing up as your authentic self, and you're holding on to so many past hurts that you can't feel clearly. But when it's balanced, achieving your goal is easier because you give yourself compassion, you give yourself grace. You show up as your authentic self and you connect to your soul tribe. This will allow you to take all the leaps that are needed in order for you to achieve the goal that you're working towards. So I definitely want to challenge you to take one step towards balancing your heart chakra this month. You can do this. By joining my email list, because once you join my email list, you'll get a self-discovery worksheet. So within this self-discovery worksheet, there are sheets on here for talking about your goals. There are sheets on here to help you identify your core values. And it's really a good resource to help you guys get out of survival mode and into a more balanced lifestyle. Because when you don't know what your core values are, when your chakras, especially your heart chakra, is blocked and imbalanced, it's really, really hard for you to show up as yourself. It's really, really hard for you to focus on the areas of your life that actually need the focus, because you don't know what needs focus. You don't know what areas are more important right now, because you're trying to do all of it at once. Especially in this culture, especially in this capitalist society, we are taught to hustle all the time. You're taught to always be doing something. Get a side job, get a side hustle, make more money, make more money, make more money. When really that's not the key. That is not the key. That is what they are telling us, but that is not the key. The key is to get right within yourself. The key is to learn your own power, your own personal power, so that way you can start attracting the things that you deserve instead of having to chase them all the time. This is what I do in the Balance and Act. I got millennials out of survival mode into a more balanced lifestyle with the Balance and Act, which is a 3-phase journey. So I would love to help walk you through this 3-phase journey at any time. If you are interested, please DM me Reset so that way I can get you the link to schedule a consultation so we can see if I can support you on your journey. I would definitely love to. Also, if you want to know more about heart chakras, actually, I have a blog on my website, which is premierpersonalgrowthfirm.com, called 4 Reasons Why a Balanced Heart Chakra is the Key to Goal Success. So please make sure you check out the blog. I have a few more blogs on there as well. I'm always down for requests. So if there's something that you want me to talk about that fits into the realm of what I do, I would definitely be happy to get a blog going, get a video going, and share that content out. So again, if you are looking for someone to help guide you out of survival mode, I am the coach for you. DM me Reset and let's get started. You got to make 2024 the last year of this cycle. Thank y'all for joining me on another Balanced Millennium Monday. I'll be back next week to continue our conversation about the heart chakra and success. See y'all next week.